That's right, boys. No more one-wheel peels. Well, I mean, at the moment, we still would, but I ordered it, okay? I ordered a limited slip differential. Went ahead and tore it apart, so I knew what to order. So this is a 28 spline axle, and these are semi-floating. They're held in with C-clips. So the new carrier I got is coming with bearings, and we'll use that ring gear off of it. That's an 8.5-inch ring gear, and this is a 10-bolt rear. So a limited slip going in this sucker. It needs it, honestly. It just, anytime you try to get traction, one tire spins, it sucks. That's an open diff for you. All you gotta do is you take the cover off. There's one bolt that holds that center pin in. Take that bolt out, pull the center pin out, then you have to pull the hubs, push the axle in, C-clip falls. As you can see, the C-clips are actually sitting in there. I didn't take them out yet. The C-clips fall out, and then you can pull the axle shafts out, and that's how you figure out how many splines there are. That's why there's paint on that one, because I went around and counted the teeth and put a paint mark for every one I counted, so I knew, you know, didn't mess my count up. And yeah, so we're going to be getting, and then I also ordered a new cover, a chrome one with new hardware and a new gasket. So I got to peel the rest of that gasket off there. But off camera right now, I'm going to go ahead, I want to do a second coat on this. This stuff turned out wonderful. This stuff's nice. POR 15. But I want to put a second coat on, and I'm going to go ahead and do the axle while I'm at it. And let me get the brake lines out of these holders so I can kind of get them out of the way. And yeah, we're going to make it look pretty since we're putting a chrome cover on. This is all going to be black. It's going to look like brand new underneath here. Also need to do the bracket that holds the e-brake cable. And, you know, just not worried about the drive shaft, but second coat on the top of this and the insides and stuff, just because they recommend 2 coats. And this is one. They tell you to do a thin coat and then a thick coat. I kind of did one thick coat so far, but I like the outcome. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Finish. The leaf springs were still wet yesterday, so I didn't want to do those yet. And the undersides of the frame over there where my lift arms would be, it was still wet, so I didn't want to coat that. So we're going to get the coating on now, and I'll get back to you after that. So that's a good outcome. I'm happy with that. I'm looking at this stuff now. The lid was like sealed when I went to take it off. So here's this stuff dried. It's like rubber, but it's like a hard rubber. When it dries really hard, but it's like a really hard rubber. That's what I'm saying. So it's like a rubberized undercoating, but like extra hard. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the results so far. Anyways, my work week's about to start, and I think next weekend, when I'm going to continue this video, I would expect my limited slip differential to be here. And we also got to start on rockers and cab corners, because I need to get that underway. And then I also want to get the truck out, wire wheel all of this, and do that with tractor paint while I have it up on the lift. It's an ongoing thing here. It's just one thing after another. But you can't say I'm not putting an effort in now on this thing, finally. We aren't going to finish it. We are going to jump into some other projects. I don't have them right now, but I just know that one's going to come up. I'm just saying. I forgot I already started this episode a while ago, so I just recorded the beginning of it again. Anyways, sold the Subaru engine today. I freed up some room in the garage and put some money in my pocket. Thank you. I need to take the headers off to do new gaskets there. So I thought, why not put a brand new exhaust on it when I get it off there? Yeah! This is like aluminum, looks like aluminum. So we're going to be doing the headers and that. And depending on how much I have left, I might just finish the rest of the mufflers while I'm at it. I'm not going to paint the very ends because the paint needs to be cleaned off of them to weld those tips on. And I'm not welding the tips on until the exhaust is back on the truck where it's supposed to be. And then I can eyeball them up the way I want them. The limited slip diff did not come, but the new hardware, new gasket, the shim kit, and the new rear cover and the friction modifier came. The new cover has a fill plug, Yukon, which is a Yukon limited slip unit I'm getting. Plus, I got regular, not synthetic, just regular GL5 8W90 for in the rear with that friction modifier. So when it gets here, we'll be putting that in. It might be next episode, something like that. I need to start cutting. Actually, no. I need to remove the fenders. So that's what we're going to do next. Get these fenders off. Now, while I'm in the process of taking these fenders off, I just remembered that I need to do that VVOR review of that body tool for slide hammer weld thing, majigger. Yeah, that thing. And this fender has a little bit of damage that I did myself. I'm pretty proud of it. Not really. Anyways, I'm going to use it on this fender. So I got to grind the primer off of it. There's 2 small dents from the ladder falling on the fender. We're going to try to use it on that while it's still bolted to the truck before I take it off of there. So hopefully it works pretty good. I hope it works good. I want it to work good. So we'll check it out here. Now, this is the Pro Spot. It's just called the Pro Spot, okay? It is a kind of like a spot welder. It spot welds itself to the vehicle. You use a slide hammer to pull on it, give it a little tug, just twist it, and it comes right back off the metal. Now, I haven't successfully used this yet. There's manual settings and there's automatic settings. We're going to try the automatic setting, just because. There are also different settings for different whatever piece you have attached to this, because there's different attachments and stuff, and there's also like different things that you can spot weld to the vehicle. And then there's another slide hammer that's not attached to the cord. It's just a separate one. You put a hook on, and then you can pull on the body damage. Like if you're going to work on a line like this, there's a whole bunch of little keyways that you can spot weld on there, and then put a hook in there with a bar, and then pull on it, all of them at the same time. So like if it was dented right here, we can pull on that body line and try to pull the body line back out. For example, here is like a piece that you put on, and then you put hooks into it and pull on that. And then here's another. This comes with the kit as well. Here is the hook puller that you hook in and pull on it. There's also a single hook that you can put on, and oh, here's the extra slide hammer right here. And then there's these little keyways you can weld on. There's all kinds of stuff, washers and stuff like that, and you can reuse those. I think this rod is to go in between those to pull on. Yeah, that's what that's for. And then here's different ends you can put on it. You can put a single chuck on it there. There's like a flat blade, and then there's a whole bunch of extra ends on it, like the end that's on it now. And then there's a chuck for that, and then a chuck for that straight one. So my only suggestion on this thing, now it comes with this for the ground shank, my only suggestion would be to get yourself a nice clamp on ground so you can just clean a piece of metal and then clamp it on like a welder. Right now, I have it in through a bolt hole there. I should have cleaned that hole out, which I think I'm going to, because I got to clean the primer off of this before I start tacking to that. But let's see how we do here. There you go. Okay. Now, I'm glad I didn't give up. I was about to write this product off. I could not get it to stick. I was getting a little frustrated, okay? I'd pull, it goes zip, and we do one little zip, and then I'd go to pull on it, and nothing. Turns out, you want to pull the trigger several times. And don't use manual mode. Use automatic mode. It only does a little zap. Give it a second, give it another. I did, at first, I was doing like 8 to 10 trigger pulls on it, and it would get it to stick. Now I realize you only really need to do like 3 to 4. One good zap gets it on there, and then give it a couple more trigger pulls, give it a second, and then pull on it, and you can actually get a good hammer out of it. And as you can see, it actually pulled the metal up in a couple places. It might have actually burnt through. Can't tell. But yeah, it actually pulled the metal up. Let me clean this up a little bit with some sandpaper, and we'll see how it looks like after that. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm surprised. So cleaned up, man. That's not too bad at all. We probably could have kept on going a little bit. I'm probably gonna have to tap it down right here, and probably tap it down up here, because when it went down, it pushed the metal out. It's probably the same for right here. It's not as bad up here as it is right here. But for the most part, there's gonna be minimal filler in there, and it's gonna turn out pretty good. So yes, I was, like I said, I was about to write this thing off, and I was going to say it was junk, and I'm glad I didn't, because it ended up working, and I really like it. But yeah, I really like it. So if you want to get yourself one, there's going to be a link in the description. Hopefully, Vevor will hook you up with a discount code. If you've never been to Vevor.com, there are lots of tools there. I mean, there's more than just car tools there. There's like a limitless amount of tools and stuff that you can get there. But yeah, these are on there. There's higher end ones of these. There's all kinds of stuff on there. There's just car tool. There's all kinds of tools and stuff on there. So go check their site out, and get yourself one of these if you're interested. Alright, so now this driver's side is the worst side, and what I fear is that there's going to be nothing left underneath to weld to. Ooh. But you know what? There is. There is. There's metal there. Right here. Right there, it's gone. Okay, so the very back of that is missing. So we're going to have to make something to fill in the spot. But all of the metal is in till you get near the back there where you can see through. There's a hole right there. So you don't want to just go and start cutting stuff out because you still have to fit your new piece in. Now, I can probably cut the top of this off. And first, I want to get rid of these seals that go into the fender well there. We have a clear view of this up front here. And then we'll have to look at what we're going to get rid of according to spot welds and stuff. As rusty as it is right up here in the front, it's going to be really hard to tell where the spot welds are at. So right here is our patch piece. As you can see, I don't think we're going to come the whole way up on this, but we're probably going to trim some of that off. You really don't need to remove the door hinges. At least that one moves. The top one, it would move. I need to get new hinges. I just haven't gone about doing it yet. And for these cab corners, we're going to be chopping these down as well, because we're not going the whole way up there like this is showing here. We go the whole way up to here. We really don't need to cut that much off. Plus, like I said, they give you extra metal there, so it kind of covers that indent. We're probably going to chop this down here at the bottom of this curve. It's spot welded across the inside lip there. There, you can see they leave you one spot weld hold there so you can kind of tack it on. But I guess we could start chopping. We know that it goes the whole way down to the bottom. It comes up plenty far. As you can see, we cut the inner rocker off too. I'm not even sure if it's factory. It doesn't look factory, like this inner rocker part. Like, I don't know. It's just something about that doesn't look factory to me. Well, it's like a primer kinda. I don't know. All it is flat steel, and then it's kind of bent to fit. I'm actually gonna look it up and see if I can buy that inner rocker. Accidentally cut too much, okay? I was just like, I'm gonna hack this off so that I can fit my new piece up. I didn't take in the fact that inner rocker is so close, and I cut the inner rocker off, but the inner rocker was kind of shot on this side. The passenger side I know is not near as bad as the driver's side. For some reason is horrible, and I knew it was bad, but I didn't know how bad. Now I know. Kind of cut that off. There's an inner structure to the cab corner as well, and I can fabricate that myself, I believe. I left some of it here. So all it is a piece of steel, just kind of wraps around and used to seal off the back of the cab, but it's not there. It's not present. Right here is what was left of this inner piece that I cut off, and as you can see, it just kind of rotted and was gone. So I'm just gonna make a piece to weld on back here, and I'll have to weld that in first. And I can still take this up further. I didn't cut near as much as what I have for this, so as you can see, I'm plenty far up. I still have lots of room to go, and I could still cut this panel as well, but lots of work to do still. I'm going to research, see what I can find for inner rockers, possibly maybe an inner cab corner if they're not that expensive. But you can also just buy flat steel from a place that sells it, and I know places that sell it, and I might just get like a 20 gauge steel. That's a little bit thicker. 22 gauge is normally what everything is, but 20 gauge is a little bit thicker, so it gives you, you know, some room if you're welding, so that you don't blow through it. But it's a lot of work, and it's going to be hard to capture all of this on video. So I'm probably going to, next part of this video you're going to see is probably going to be me with everything set up so that I can put the rocker on. I'll show you what everything looks like at that point. But yeah, this is a lot of work. A lot of work. Okay, so I did place an order for inner rocker panels. Yeah, I went about cutting these all wrong, but it'll be all right. The whole new inner rocker panel's coming. To mark this out. That's still low, but that's, you know, in the vicinity where I need a cut for this. As you can see, I'm going to cut below that line. We'll get that in there at some point. Man, I'm going to tell you what, I'm getting a little sketched on this because these panels do not have the lines like they're supposed to. Like this edge right here comes out and then curves in right here. Right there on that edge. The piece I got does not. And I've cut it down. And it wants to fit most of the body, but like this curve is not quite the same as this one. But yeah, there's a little bend right there that this panel doesn't have in it. Same with over here. As you notice, this indent. So we are going to have to cut this down, but I kind of still want to leave this here, so I'm probably going to trim this down. Let's see how much we have left here. So that down here where I have it cut at, there's actually, it's where it disappears at, and that's probably what we're going to have to do is chop this down to that. Yeah, this is bad. The freaking self-tapping screw right here, it comes through, and there's not even a head on the other side. It's just gone because it rusted off. Yeah, I got a shift. I need the inner rockers. I need spot weld drill bits. I need metal so I can do this cab corner. Started removing what was left of this, and it's I need a spot weld drill bit. I have a couple, but I need to get another one. Also cleaned up some material, found some spot welds, and kind of did a little bit of a cut there. I need to get that spot weld out. I'm going to take the rest of that cab off and leave the inner cab, what's left there, so I can weld to that. On this side, I did clean up all the spot welds so I can see it, except for down there near the bottom where it got kind of rusty. You can't really see those. This side's going to be a breeze compared to that side. Now that I know how it is, I can see all the spot welds. the whole inner structure is here on this one, the whole way back, and the inside of the cab corner is there. There's a hole in the very back here, as you can see the stuff coming out, but it's very minimal compared to the other side. So we're gonna get rid of and then I cleaned off down there, and I'll get all the spot welds down along the bottom as well. So this one's gonna be a lot better than the other side, and I don't think I'm gonna have to. I think we'll just like probably come down here pretty low. Yeah, we need right here it's rusted but not bad. In fact, this rocker is not really bad at all, except for this spot right here. This side's so good that it might be better for me to just cut this section and just do this right here, and then finish off with the cab corner. The cab corner is the worst spot on this side. Alright, so we're shifting gears a little bit. Something came in the mail today, okay? So, you know, I ordered the dash and the door panels months ago, and they're still in back order. There's still no expected date. I ordered those from Eckler's Classic Chevy. So I contacted them to get an update. There was no update, so I canceled the order. Ordered the dash and the door panels from CJ Pony yesterday. The dash showed up today. 1 day. Now, this is not a factory style dash. This is a urethane dash. It's over a metal frame, but it's made from urethane. So it might not fit perfect, but it's gonna look a lot better than that cracked up dash. Only thing is, I need to get some satin black paint or something for plastic. The grill guards you have to put in from the old dash, and the ones I got are blue. So I want to paint those up, but we can still throw the dash in and see what it looks like. So now, you can see the old dash. It's like foam with like a fabric cover, not a fabric, like a leather cover with a steel frame. This thing is just steel with a whole bunch of urethane molded over top of it. Now these grills, these two, I need to get out. And then this front trim piece does not fit very well, and all of the tabs broke off of the back side of it. And it's not really in that great a shape. I did just super glue part of it back together, but I don't know if we're going to go with this. I'm going to see, maybe we might just get another one. But for the meantime, I might just set it in there once we get it in the dash, see what it looks like. Might do the same thing with those grill pieces. But I want to go ahead and set this in the car. Now, as you can see, it's very flexible. It's got a piece of wood in it right now holding it together. These urethane ones are very flexible, so I don't think it's going to fit quite as nice as this one did. But this new one also doesn't have these metal tabs. Actually, I think you're supposed to reuse those. Let me take those off. Yeah, these are supposed to go in the new dash. There's things on it right now, and I was looking at it, but I see these can be removed, so that's probably what we need to do. So now I put the grills in, and honestly those blue grills don't even look bad in there, so might just leave them, but they fit, they're tight, but you can get them in there. Now I would just throw this right in, but I have something else that I've had for a little while that goes underneath the dash. And if I can find it in this mess in here, then we'll put them in. And here they are. Scar Audio 3-inch speakers. Now, these are heavy-duty speakers compared to the 3-inch ones that are in there. And these are going to be a direct drop-in. And for wiring them up, that's going to be a little bit different. But everything's right there, and there's your wiring. I don't know which one's positive and which one's negative. I'll figure it out here. And I mean, there's not very much wire here, so I should be able to figure it out. And yeah, we should be ready to throw these in there. This should make a big improvement because those things are shot. Oh, another upgrade we're going to do is we're going to put the needle back on the shifter since it's been missing for a while. Alright, so I took a pick, depinned the plug. I'm going to be able to plug these directly into the speaker. And then right there is the wiring harness for the stereo. And I can visually see that the light green is positive and the dark green is negative. So these are marked out on these. I'll be able to plug those directly on there, right with the plugs that are there. Even though that one's smaller, it'll still make contact and it'll be fine. So now I just need to get that speaker out, throw the new one in, and plug it in. It's that simple. It really is. It's easy. Now, let's see how these sound. Not too bad for an old C10. If I really wanted it to bump, I would add an active subwoofer in there under the seat, which I'm not opposed to doing. I might do it yet. I don't know yet. So I just temporarily wired the back ones in. I have these plates that I painted that go in the back corners back in here. And these speakers are going to mount into those plates, and they're going to be back here in the back corners. Now the sound will be a lot better once they're mounted in there, because then they'll solidly be mounted. Right now they're just sitting on the floor, and that doesn't work very good for the acoustics. It'll still sound a little bit better, but to get some real bass out of this, either I would need to get a better head unit, or I need to get an active subwoofer, and I'm pretty sure I can fit one underneath the seat on this, and that would make this sound really good inside. Alright, so the next small chore I have is I'm just going to change out. Now, I'm not changing out this whole piece, I'm just changing out the clip here, because, well, that spring's longer, so I'm going to have to use that spring, but I need this arm. And I'll just use the brand new cable that comes with that as well. That spring's longer because there's a longer gear range than this, so it has a further travel to go. So and this spring's actually in good shape. So just swapping these over is really not going to be that bad of a deal. There's two little 7s there, and then as you can see, the cord wraps around here, and I think it's just clipped here. Yes, it is. It's just clipped there. And right now I'm in park, so you will set it at park whenever and clip it on there whenever you do get it right. Ta-da! There we are. So now I'm just going to swap this over, the needle to this one. I'm also going to clean that because look how dusty that is. And I'm going to throw it in there, and then we'll see what it looks like. So I also ended up using the old string too. It's like a real thin wire, and it's just a tad bit longer than this one, which this one was being difficult with me trying to make the adjustments on it. So I just went with the old original. So yeah, now we're fixed. I was also having a problem with that needle binding, and it was this plate was a little bit bent. So I just straightened it out by hand, and now, I mean, I don't have the key on. I put the key on, everything shifts smooth and goes, you know. All it was a needle broke off, but in the process of me doing that, I decided I took this whole dash panel apart and cleaned both sides of it, the backing and all this in here, and not carefuling, I broke the end of the speedometer needle off. Now there's still a needle there. I just broke the end of it off where it would be out here. So now it's just going to be in here riding, but still, it's still on there. So not worried about that. Let's get this dash in here already. It's what we're all waiting for. I don't look for this thing to fit very smoothly. We'll find out. Anyways, it's not what I planned on doing in this video, but that's what you got in this video, and you're going to take it and you're going to like it. Next episode, we're going to get this exhaust off. We're going to coat it, make it look nice. Might do some POR on some of the front suspension, because I don't have the stuff to finish these rockers. I can cut the passenger rocker off. It's going to be a lot easier than this driver's side one, but yeah. Anyways, the interior's looking nice. Do you agree? I mean, it needs a wipe down, but and my paint did not come down far enough or go up far enough, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. Nice. Maybe I'll just leave it there as a reminder of what the original color was. Huh? No? Not a good idea? That's okay. That's what I thought too. But yes, we're making progress. I've been not looking, well, I can't say I have not been looking. I've been looking at Copart. I've been trying not to look at Copart very much, because I'm like, I know if I get something else, I'm just going to pack this thing on the side burner, and as it is right this second, I kind of can't put it on the back burner right now, because I got a lot going on here, okay? I need to get the rear end back together. I need to paint the back of the cab and the back of the bed, and I need to get these rockers and cab corners done. And when I get those done, then I want to Raptor liner the whole interior before I put the carpet in, before I put the seats back in. Yeah. So we have some stuff to do on this, and I'm trying to make as quick a progress on it as I can. So this is what you're getting for right now. If you guys like this video, smash that like button. Consider subscribing. Hit that dislike button if your mom's bedposts are rotting out like this. And we'll see you on the next episode of UnWrecked. Doing? Oh, hi. Hi. You excited to see me? Oh my. So much excitement. What are you doing? Purring. You wanna come say hi? No. You're not feeling good. What's wrong with you? Not eating again.
Usual.
No. Well, get better. Did that record? I'm having camera difficulties. Ha ha.